Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Aaliyah. So in today's video, this is the issue. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you the truth that nobody told you about high school. And we're going to be talking about high school and everything that I wish I knew before going to high school, because there's actually a lot of things that I would have done differently. I wouldn't say I have regrets, but I have more so things that I wish I knew what was going to happen. And I'm going to be telling you every single thing that you need to know. I'm not really going to be talking about the academic side of that. If you want me to make a video, I can talk about that and the whole college application process. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking more about the mental health aspect of high school and things that you will need to know to survive it. Even though I don't really want to mention this, school is going to start again. And I know that this is a video that's going to be helpful to a lot of middle schoolers, or even if you are in high school already and you're going into a different year, or just like maybe you're just confused and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so stuck in high school right now and high school is so hard. What am I going to do? This video is for you because I've been through it. I swear to you, high school has been hell. And I want to tell you things that are going to make it easier, really help you when you're just starting out or when you're just trying to get through it. So this will be my guide to surviving high school and everything you need to know, and all the advice, every single thing will be in this video. So if you're an incoming freshman and you just graduated 8th grade, you just graduated middle school, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, middle school was so hard and now I'm gonna be entering high school and it's gonna be so much better and it's gonna be great and all that. You're gonna have all this hope and whatever, because I know that I did. Saying goodbye to everyone, but honestly, I am so happy to make new friends because I've known these people for so long. And of course I'm gonna miss my friends who have always been there for me, but you know, those snakes, I'm so excited to leave them. Spoiler alert, there's more snakes. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say, and I'm gonna tell you right now that that's partially true, but at the same time, high school can be just as bad in a different way. Hey, there I was a little 8th grader and I was so excited. I remember telling my best friend, oh my gosh, I can't wait for high school because I get to do so many things, new things, and I finally get like more freedom because I'm not in middle school anymore. I'm a high schooler, and you know, I couldn't wait to drive. I couldn't wait to like have my first kiss. I couldn't wait to like do all the things that you hear in like High School Musical. I thought my life was gonna be like a Disney movie. I didn't think it was gonna be like that great, but I thought it was gonna be better than middle school. I would really meet like the best friends that I could have ever had, and yeah, I didn't really know what to expect, but if I were to expect something, I would be expecting that. Freshman year was just really a year of curiosity. It was a year of me finding out a lot of things about myself, and it was just like, I would say that year was a very pivotal moment in my life. I hated middle school. It was bad. Never been through something. You couldn't pay me any money to go back to middle school. That's all I'm gonna say. It was traumatizing. So yes, high school was better because it was a new school and there were a lot of new people, but at the same time, it has its cons that I was not prepared for. So when it comes to your first day of high school, I'm telling you right now, no other freshman knows what is going on. It is okay to walk in on the first day and not know where you're going. And honestly, on my first day, what made it easier was whenever I was scared or like I didn't know where I was going, or like I was feeling helpless, I just walked up to somebody and I asked them, where do I go? Or what am I supposed to be doing right now? And if anybody makes you feel stupid for asking a question, tell me, because I'll literally punch them in the face, because you're literally a freshman. This is a new school and you just got there. So never feel guilty for going up to somebody and asking for help. Even like if you're 6 months down the line into freshman year and you still don't know where you're going, sometimes that was me. Sometimes I didn't even know where I was going, especially if your high school is big. I know in the South, high schools are super big. So always ask for help. Always, like, you know, talk to people. Don't be afraid. And if you're like me and you're very just like reserved and like you're afraid to ask people things sometimes, that was the time in my life where I started going out. I just asked people things and I was like, you know, what am I supposed to be doing here? Because I'm really confused. That's something to be ashamed of, because nobody else there knows what they're doing. I'm telling you right now. Like, I can picture it in my mind the first day of high school or orientation. Nobody knew what they were doing. People were coming up to ask me things and I was like, I don't know where I'm going either. Let's figure it out together. So yeah, I would say don't be scared. Don't like stress yourself out about it. And really, like, the first day is so easy because nobody else knows what's going on. Like, you walk in and everybody is just as confused as you, and everybody is just as scared because it's a new experience and everybody in your grade is going through the exact same thing. So don't feel alone, and if you do, just walk up to somebody and talk to them, because 9 times out of 10 they will like be nice to you, especially if it's an upperclassman. Upperclassmen were like really my best friend. Freshman year, they were like the sweetest people ever, and honestly, out of all the people in freshman year, the upperclassmen, specifically the juniors, the upperclassmen were the best to talk to, and they were so sweet. Like, you walk up to them and they like help you out and like act like your best friend. So as the weeks go by, as the days go by, I would say like the 3rd day I knew where I was going and I knew where my classes were. Even on the 1st day, you know, I was asking teachers where to go, and I already got the hang of it really on where most things were. So I would say after like the first couple days, you'll be fine. And always ask a teacher too if there's not like a student that you can ask. Anyway, weeks are gonna go by and you're gonna start making friends and you're gonna start meeting people. I'll be honest though, my high school had like most of the people from my middle school, so it was a little bit easier for me because I knew so many people. It was like I was going to school with the same people again, so I didn't really sweat it. But I did have classes where I didn't know anybody, and honestly, like, I would compliment people. That's the thing that really helped me. I would compliment people. I'd be like, hey girl, like, I would not say it like that. Oh my gosh, no, that's not how I speak. I'm sorry. I would just be like, I really like your hair. Like, your nails are so cute. And that was my thing freshman year. If you came up to me, I would compliment you. And then we would start a conversation from there. And that was my best conversation starter. And some people are just like really outgoing and they're very like talkative. So, you know, if you find somebody like that, then just keep talking to them. Let them talk and like, you know, just allow yourself to kind of meet different people, because I'm telling you right now, everybody in high school is different. Nobody's gonna be like you, or a lot of people are going to be so different from you, and you kind of just have to get used to that. There's different types of people, there's different types of cliches in high school. It's not so much like the nerds, the popular people. It's more so like just there's certain groups of people that hang out with certain groups of people, and you kind of just have to figure out, like, you know, what type of people that you prefer talking to. And over the next couple of weeks, that's what you should expect. Just different people, new things. And the one thing that I can say is that the best friend that you meet, who you think, oh my gosh, we're gonna graduate together and we're gonna go to college together, that first best friend that you meet is most likely not going to be the best friend that you end up with in the end, because you're gonna think that this is your best friend, and you know, like, that's gonna be my best friend throughout everything in high school. But I telling you, no matter how close you are to that person, one of you is gonna change, because that is freshman year. High school is all about change and growth and figuring new things out, and so one of you is gonna change, and you have to go into high school expecting nothing to stay the same. Nothing is gonna stay the same as it was freshman year or sophomore year or junior year. Your freshman self is going to be entirely different from your senior year self. And I didn't think that things would change. It would take such a big twist in my life. I thought, you know, just live like a regular average high schooler life, and like, you know, but that's not what happened. Like, in my friendships, things change. Somebody changed, because people grow and people are figuring out themselves in high school. They really are. And you kind of just have to be prepared for that, and you have to mentally prepare yourself, like, and don't get attached to people too much like that, because High school is all about change. People are going to be changing and growing, and you have to kind of just be like, at the end of the day, if I don't end up being friends with this person, and it's okay. You have to just enjoy the memories that you have with them in the moment, and just think to yourself, I'm so grateful that they are in my life right now, and I really hope that we end up being friends in the end. But at the end of the day, if we don't, it's completely okay. You can accept that that person is a good person, and you can accept that you had a good time together and you had good memories, but it's not always meant to be you and that person in the end, because you're gonna go off to college, you're gonna find jobs, you're gonna meet new people, and high school is such a tiny, it's so small, and it's so like, it's the smallest community ever that you'll ever have in your life. In high school, I know that I thought that, you know, that was gonna be it, you know, like, these are the people that I meet here are gonna have to be the ones that I spend the rest of my life with. But that's not how it is. There's such a bigger world outside of high school, and there's so much left to learn after high school, and you really have to understand that it's going to be such a small part of your life. Going with that, you also have to understand that sports and clubs and grades, they are not everything. And I was somebody who was so serious about my academics, and I was so scared of everything. I was scared of getting below a 90. I was that type of kid. It was pretty gross. And anybody who knew me from there, from freshman year, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I acted like that, but it was all part of the process. But I was very serious about my grades and getting into a good college. But I know that it's very hard to believe. If you're that type of student, it's very hard to believe deep down, is it really going to be okay if I don't join these 10 clubs and this extracurricular activity? Is it really going to be okay if I end the year with an 80 average? And am I really going to get into good college? And I can't promise you anything, but you cannot worry about the future so much. You have to enjoy your life. You have to enjoy high school, and you have to make memories with your friends. That cannot be your life. Something I wish I would have done is put my mental health first and the things that I loved first, because I went through so much during high school just for my grades. I would stay up until 5 a.m. because high school, if you're taking the AP and the honors classes, high school will have you staying up until 5 a.m. every night doing homework and doing essays and studying for tests. But that cannot be your life, because you will get burnout, and I'm telling you, burnout is real. Like, I didn't think I'd be the type of student to get burnout, but I did. And I worked so hard freshman year, I worked so hard sophomore year, and then junior year hit. And that was the hardest year of my entire life, school-wise and academic-wise, and I had never been through something like that in my entire life, because the work itself wasn't that hard, but I had pushed myself over the limit from freshman and sophomore year that I didn't even understand why I was going to school anymore. I was so unmotivated. I was like, what's the point? I'm literally going to school just to go through all these classes every single day, and I'm so tired. I don't want to talk to anybody at school, and I was so stressed out all the time. Like, I'd have homework and I would procrastinate because I did not feel like doing it, because I had gone through so many years ever since elementary school. I've gone through so many years of having to be the perfect student, having to be a certain way, having to be in a certain amount of clubs, having to build my resume, and I was putting myself through so much stress to be the perfect student, and to telling you guys, he only does this when he wants attention. Want to see the camera? Anyway, he hates when I'm bothering him. But yeah, I didn't even see the point to school anymore. I was like, nope, I don't want to go to college. I can't do this anymore. This is too much for me. And I hated everything about my life, because school was my life, and that was my everyday. That's what I had to do every day. Wake up to go to school, do it all over again every single day. And I promise you, if if you do not limit yourself, and if you do not time manage, and if you do not give yourself time, you will never ever be able to balance your school life and your mental health. You're always going to have to end up picking one or the other. And that's what I had to do. I had picked my school life over my mental health for years and years and years. I neglected my needs. I neglected what I wanted. I neglected my friends and my family and everything that made me me, that I ended up losing myself, and I got so caught up in school that I didn't even remember who I was anymore. And I picked school. I became a robot, and I would literally pull all-nighters every single night, and I would come home and I would sleep, and I'd have to wake up mad late to do my homework, and it was so bad. I hated my life. But in the end, I ended up choosing my mental health, and I ended up just being like, if I don't finish this assignment tonight, it's okay. I know I had a due date, but I'm tired and I need to go to bed. So I would say the number one thing to know, like the number one thing that you really need to know, is your limit and how hard that you can push yourself. No matter if it's like the assignment or like the amount of work that you're putting into it, or if one night you're just like, I don't want to do these assignments, like I'm really tired, go to bed. You don't need to I swear to you, teachers will understand. At least at my school they did, and they were so understanding over extensions, and if I ever needed another week, they would give me the week. So never be afraid to ask for an extension. It's totally understandable if you need one, and if you don't need to do an assignment, it's not the end of the world. If you don't feel like doing it, it's not the end of the world. You can always go to a college. College is, to be honest with you, is a scam, and the whole application process is a scam, and you do not need to push yourself that hard just to get into college, because college is a big deal. For certain jobs, you obviously don't need it. If you do need a job that requires you to go to college, you will get into a college at the end of the day. Like, I'm telling you right now, no amount of, once you pass with a passing grade, you're going to get into a college. Like, you're going to be able to get in college. And so you do not need to take honors and APs. The most I would recommend is taking one AP at least, or taking one college or honors class. I would at least take one, because it helps with your weighted average, and it helps, even if you're flunking in that class, you're going to end up with a passing grade because it's weighted and they add points because it's a higher class. Do not push yourself to that limit to take 6. I know some people at my high school who are taking like 7 APs for senior year, and I'm just like, for what though? Like, what is that gonna really do for you? Like, you don't need that. That's over the top in my opinion. You don't need it. Like, you can really take a regular class and pass the class and still get into a good college. You don't need it. I'd at least pick one thing to be really, really good at. Either academics, a hobby, a club, or an extracurricular, whatever, like something like that. Because you really don't need all of them. And I see so many students like burn themselves out by having to do all these things. If that doesn't bring you to your limit, I totally get that. And, you know, do what you gotta do. If that makes you happy, then do that. You know, I'm not saying don't push yourself, and I'm not saying that don't have discipline and don't do a bunch of things to put on your resume, but I'm saying that there's no need to push yourself that hard if you know that you're not the type of person who really wants to keep up with that and who really wants to put your entire life into school, because it's understandable if you don't. And it's hard when you see everybody around you trying to do that, getting to a good college, and like, especially if you're taking APs, because it's so competitive with everybody in that in those classes. But at the end of the day, you have to think about what you want for the future, and you have to think about things that are going to give you the steps to take you there, because you can't. I neglected YouTube for years because I focused so much on school, and I thought that that's what I had to do. I had to go through the process that everybody else was going through. Everybody's preparing for college, and that's all they're doing is get into a college to get a 9-to-5 job or whatever like that. Like, never ever thought to think that, oh my gosh, I could do something outside of that, and you totally can. The main point I'm trying to say here is that don't make school your everything. If you know that you don't want a job that requires college. And the number one things that I wish I had done was focus on my hobbies and the things that I enjoyed doing and the things that made me me. I loved painting and I loved writing. I dreamt of making books one day, and I dreamt of writing books and being an author, and I dreamt of being a singer, and I used to love reading, and I used to get lost in books, and I really wanted to play the piano for years. I wanted to speak Spanish. There's so many things that I wanted to do that I wasn't able to do because I focused so much on school. Now that I'm starting to get back into those things again, I'm so happy. Like, my mental health is exactly where I need it to be again, and I'm in such a better place now than I was when I was in school. School didn't allow me to do anything that I like doing. And this is water. I'm just fancy. But you don't need to walk into high school thinking that I have to be the best, I have to be good at grades, I have to be in clubs, I have to be the best at sports. But you don't have to do it all. You're not a robot, and it's normal to go through changes in high school. It's normal to be scared or to feel lost or confused sometimes, because you may feel lonely when you're going through that, but everybody goes through it. I went through so much during high school. I went through so many changes and things that I didn't want to happen. I didn't want to let go of friendships. I didn't want to let go of relationships. I didn't want to, let go of people that I wanted to stay in my life. But something that you really have to understand is that not everybody's meant to stay in your life forever. People move in and out of your life, and you just have to appreciate the memories that you had with them. You have to appreciate that they were in your life, and it's totally normal to want to cut someone off. It's normal to not want to be best friends with everybody, even if they want to be best friends with you. I remember there was this one person freshman year who really wanted to be best friends with me, but I just wasn't really feeling the friendship, and that's normal. It's normal to just not want to be friends with somebody. You don't owe anybody anything in high school and in life in general, and nobody owes you anything. And honestly, have great conversations with people. Be nice to everyone. You don't need to be in drama. You don't need to have 5 people being your best friend. You don't need 10 friends. You don't need to be popular at school. Just talk to people, and don't put pressure on yourself to have a certain amount of people in your life. I ended up with a solid 5 good friends that I really enjoy talking to, and that's not the most friends in the world. If I wanted to have a party, there wouldn't be much people here, but I know at the end of the day that I have quality people who I really like being around, and who I don't feel like I have to filter myself being around. I did get caught up in those type of friendships at one point where I felt like, I had to settle for friendships just because I wanted to have friends, and I had to filter myself and restrict myself and keep people in my life just because I liked having the company. But honestly, quality over quantity when it comes to friends. And it's hard because sometimes you look at everybody else in high school and they have the most friends, and they have so many friends, and you're like, I'm a good person. Why don't I have friends like that? Why do they all have friends, and why can't I have people to hang out with and stuff like that? But if you're like me, it's just, you don't need all that. You really don't. Because high school is so small, it's a tiny world, and it's not gonna last forever. It's for 4 years. And the same goes for relationships. Don't try to aim to be with the person that you were with freshman year. Don't aim to be with that person senior year. You kind of just have to allow yourself to be present in the moment, and you have to allow yourself to appreciate the memories that you have going on in the present moment, and not worry about what's going to happen in the future, because you cannot build all these expectations of what you want things to be, whether it be, I want myself senior year to be this and this way. I want these certain people in my life senior year, because it's not going to be like that senior year. You have to just appreciate, like, that was my life freshman year. That was my life sophomore year. I had those people in my life. My life was like this junior year. And now my life is like this senior year. And it's totally normal. I definitely recommend taking mental health days. That's something that helped me a lot. I took a lot of days off of school when I really needed it because I needed a break. I got so burnt out, and if that happens to you, I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying if it does, never demonize yourself for taking a break or making yourself feel bad for needing time off. I know that there's so many perfectionists out there, and you need everything to be perfect. You need the perfect attendance and be a perfect student, but at the end of the day, you're just gonna pass. It's high school. It's literally high school. It's not gonna last forever. That's not your life. And you have to keep the mindset of it's gonna end eventually, and you're gonna graduate eventually, and you just have to enjoy the people who are in your life right now, and you have to appreciate the changes that you're gonna go through. I really want to say that teachers, if you go to a school with good teachers, those people are gonna be your best friend. Be best friends with your teachers. I'm not saying be a teacher's pet. That's no. Like a little teacher's pet. No, little turtle. But I'm sorry. So don't be a teacher's pet. Do not go trying to don't sweet talk the teacher and try to like be one of those people. That's not okay. But what I mean is be really respectful to your teachers and talk to them, treat them like normal people, because honestly, a lot of my teachers junior year were really my best friends. Like, all my teachers were my best friends because I spoke to them like they were normal people. I would have jokes with my teachers. I would full on just talk to them. We would have good conversations, and I would open up to them. I would tell them things, and we would just talk. And they really ended up being understanding toward me when I needed help, and I felt like I had people that I could go to when I was feeling bad. Be nice to your teachers. Treat them like people, and I swear to you, they will come through for you in the end. They will write you a good letter of recommendation, and your experience will not be the same as anybody else's experience. High school is different for everyone. People figure out different things about themselves. People learn so many different things, and don't put any pressure on yourself, Just live in the present moment. If anything cringy happens to you, by the way, don't let it define you, because it's all about figuring out who you are. And who I was freshman year is no one compared to who I am today. And I am so grateful for everything that happened. And I don't have regrets. I just, I have things that I wish I would have appreciated more, or I wish I would have, been grateful for the journeys that I went through, the change that I went through. You know what I mean? And something that really helped me to heal and to really be happy about my high school experience was to just, one, not let it define me, and two, not putting pressure on myself to have the same experience as everyone else and having it to be perfect and having to be the perfect student. When I stopped putting pressure on myself and when I allowed myself to just be me and go to school and tried my best and allow that to be all that mattered, I really started to enjoy life more, and I really started to figure out myself more, and I found the things that make me happy. And you're always going to be progressing. Like I always say, you're always going to be going through things. Go in, if you're an incoming freshman, go in on the first day having no expectations, and just go in not being afraid to be whoever you are, and be excited for the change that is going to come, because it's going to be so great, and you're going to end up senior year being exactly who you're meant to be, and everything that you want and more is going to come. I can promise that 100%, and you can really just trust me on that one. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. Whatever is for you is meant for you, and it will happen, I promise you. So if you want, I can make a part to this video, because there is a lot more that I would like to say that I really can't fit into a YouTube video because storage it's bad. But I definitely can make a part 2 if you guys want to see that, and if you guys want me to talk more on the academic side more, or whatever you guys want me to talk more about. This is kind of just my experience and the advice that I could give you from that. But I could definitely talk more about specific things on high school that you want. I could make it into a series if you want it to be. So just let me know. I really enjoyed making this for you guys, and I really hope this was helpful in any sort of way. I wish you guys luck on the new school year. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and subscribe if you want to see more of me, because I make so many different types of content, and I'm sure that there's some video that you would love on my channel. So just check out my channel, see if you like it, and subscribe if you like it, and like this video if you liked it, to let me know that I should make more like these. I love spending time with you guys, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. So I will talk to you guys later, and I love you, and make sure to check out the link below and subscribe, please. No, I'm just kidding, you don't have to. But I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you. Goodbye. That was so passive aggressive. That was mean. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, bye.